Hi everyone, this is Mike with Choosing Love Today. As we continue our Heroes Who Waited series, and as we continue preparing our hearts as we go through the book of Acts, I wanted to talk to you about Moses. Not the Moses who parted the Red Sea, not the Moses who confronted Pharaoh, not even the Moses who led Israel out of Egypt. I wanted to talk about the Moses who waited. Because before Moses ever stepped into leadership, before he ever performed a miracle, before he ever spoke for God, he spent 40 years in a place nobody ever talked about, obscurity. Moses went from the palace of Egypt to the quiet fields of Midian. No crowds, no spotlight, no influence, no platform, just sheep, silence, and waiting. Forget. Moses didn't know he was waiting. He didn't know God was preparing him. He didn't know a calling was coming. He didn't know he would ever lead anyone. He was just living his life in a place that felt small. But God was shaping him. God was forming humility. God was forming patience. God was forming character. God was forming a shepherd's heart. Because before Moses could lead people, he had to learn how to lead sheep. And this ties directly to the book of Acts. Acts is full of movement, preaching, miracles, mission, boldness. But every leader in Acts had a season where God shaped them quietly before he could use them publicly. Peter waited. John waited. Paul waited. The disciples waited in the upper room. The early church waited for the Spirit. And Moses waited in Midian. Some of you are in that same place. You're not in a palace. You're not in a spotlight. You're not in a season of influence. You're in a quiet chapter, a hidden chapter, a chapter that feels small. And maybe you're wondering, does any of this even matter? Let me speak this to you gently and directly. God does some of his most important work in the places nobody sees. God shapes leaders in obscurity. God forms character in silence. God prepares you privately for what he will ask you to do publicly. Moses didn't waste his waiting, and God didn't waste Moses' waiting, and he won't waste yours. So today, as we prepare to step further into the book of Acts, remember this. You don't have to be seen to be shaped. You don't have to be noticed to be prepared. You don't have to be in a spotlight to be in God's will. God is forming something in you right now, even if it feels quiet, small, or hidden. Just like he did with Moses. Does God have you in your Midian today? Let's keep choosing love today.